Hare Krishna, Dandatana. Mataji, just one request. Is it possible for me to share my screen?
Yes, Mataji. I just made you a co-host. You should be able to share now. Let me know if it's working.
Okay. I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, Mataji, it's visible.
Okay. Yeah. So let me take you to Pandharpur Dham today. So currently I'm residing in Karnataka, Bangalore, but my heart is always at most of the time is at Jagannath Puri, uh, and then remaining times I am at Pandharpur because Guru Maharaj stays there. So let me start this journey of hearing the Shravanam Bhakti, the glory of Shravan Bhakti or the devotional hearing going to Pandharpur. So how do we start? What is the meaning of Shravan Bhakti, or how do we do hearing, and what hearing we should do? And so all the answers to all our questions, when we start coming to ISKCON, and then we hear from everybody, class ko are ho, are you coming for a class? And I said, the class, okay. So shall we come for a class? Which class? And then they say, oh, it's a Bhagavatam class. And then so everyone starts in ISKCON Shravana, the classes. And the classes are the key of all the ISKCON centers. And any and every ISKCON center, if you go all over the world, we see that every day morning around 8:15, the Bhagavatam class is going on. And to I'm so fortunate to have visited many ISKCONs, uh, right from the Bhubaneswar, the first ISKCON, the last ISKCON established by Srila Prabhupada, along with the ISKCON which stays in Mayanagri, Las Vegas, and I heard the Bhagavatam classes, and I could really realize, my realization is, when you hear and when you take association of devotees, when you hear in the association of devotees, that will take you to the next level. And so I thought, when yesterday his guest Nimaikana Prabhu asked me, he was asking me from last so many days, but I was not taking it so seriously. I thought he's just joking because I am just a very neophyte in bhakti. So, but he said, and then I said, yes, I can do this because I hear a lot from Guru Maharaj and from him and from all the senior Vaishnavas, and I think whatever I have heard from Guru Maharaj, let me tell everybody. So I would like to start my today's class with this shloka. The shloka recited by Rukmani Mata. She says in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter number 52 and verse number 37, she says, श्रुत्वा गुणान् भुवन सुन्दर शृण्वतां ते निर्विश्य कर्णविवरैः हरतोऽङ्गतापम् रूपं दृशां दृशमिताम् अखिलार्थलाभम् द्वयाम् अच्युतविशतिं चित्तमं पत्रपं मे. She says, just by hearing your gunas, I haven't seen you, O Krishna, but just by hearing about you from the various Rishi Munis who come across to Kaundinyapur from Dwarka, I would like to surrender you. And please come and rescue me. I'm going to get married with Asura. Yeah, please come and rescue me. My relatives are not allowing me to marry with you. So please come and rescue me. So this is that place which is Kaundinyapur. So right from Pandharpur, let me take you to the place called as Kaundinyapur, which is in Vidarbha and of Maharashtra. And this is the Kaundinyapur where this holy river called as Varadaini flows. And at the bank of this holy river, there is a place called as Kaundinyapur. And in this Kaundinyapur, Rukmani Mata was born. And we have a ISKCON center established by Param Puja Lokanath Swami Guru Maharaj, and we can see the beautiful temple on my left hand side, and on the right hand side you can see a temple which is established on the bank of this Varadaini river. So all the sages, Rishi Munis who traveled across to Kaundinyapur from Dwarka, they used to talk about Krishna. They used to talk about the Govardhan Leela. They used to talk about Krishna's pastime when he was doing, how he did Puttanavad, and how he did Kaliyamardan, and how he did Govardhan Leela, and then for 7 days, 7 nights, and how the Annakut was performed, and how he looks, and he's so good, he's so beautiful, his lotus feet, and his lotus eyes, and his complexion, and the way he bends his is a threefold, right? So Tribhanga Roop mein hai Krishna. So so looking at, so hearing about Krishna, Rukmini says, please come and take me to you, take me with you. And then she gave the entire plan to the Brahmana. So when she heard a news from her brother Rukmi and Raja, her father, she was like, she fell down because she wanted to marry only Krishna, and she wanted to go to Krishna. And when she heard that she is going to get married with some other person, she felt fainted. And then at the same time, what she did, she was so intelligent. So what she did is she wrote a letter, the ever first love letter written by a lady in Shastra to Krishna. And what she did, she just asked a Brahmana who was like very faithful Brahmana, and then she wrote a love letter. And in that letter, she wrote about why I like you, and how do I hear about you, and who I am, where do I stay, and then please come and rescue me because I love you. I would like to marry with you. I want to attain you. So she attained Krishna just by hearing, right? And then the Brahmana, he gave the letter to the Brahmana. Brahmana traveled all across, from this Kaundinyapur to Dwarka. It is almost more than around 1,500 kilometers from the Vidarbha to Dwarka. And then he gave this letter to Krishna. As soon as, Krishna received this letter, and he heard this, very beautiful shloka which I have recited. This very beautiful shloka, one of my favorite shloka. I recite every day, almost every day. And then Krishna, immediately, he just he glorified the Brahmana, and then he gave him the Adharatithya, and then he said, "How can I serve you? What is the prayojan you came here all the across from Kaundinyapur to Dwarka? How can I help you? How can I serve you?" And at the time, Brahmana gave this letter to Krishna, and then Krishna wrote the letter. And then he heard that Rukmini would like to get married with him. And just by reading, Krishna also fell in love with Rukmini at that moment. And because they have, eternal relationship, and she is Aladaini for Krishna. So, immediately Krishna ran away at that same night, he ran away to Kaundinyapur. And then in that later, the Rukmini Mata, she uh, she has explained, where shall you come? What is the plan? When can you rescue? And then she told that in my family, we have a ritual that before marriage, we go and seek blessings from Ambe Mata, Ambika Mata, Durga Devi. We know that in Gopis, Gopis also did Kattayani Vrata. Kattayani Vrata. Why they did Kattayani Vrata? Because they wanted to have Krishna as their husband. They wanted to marry Krishna. So, they did Katyayani Vrata. And Katyayani Mata is none other than Durga Mata or Ambika Mata. And the same ritual is with, I think, almost every family traditions in a Hindu family. They have this tradition of worshipping Ambika Devi before a marriage, so that, they can seek blessings in their Gruhasthashram. So similarly, she said that, we have rituals, and I will go to Ambika Mata temple. And from that temple, there will be many, Rajas and Rajkumars will be staying there. You please come to that. Don't come to my Raj place, my Raj Bhavan. You come to that temple and rescue me from there. And she gave the entire plan. And then Krishna, you know, as if the lion takes away a sheep, right? He took away Rukmini Mata while after she worshipped Ambika Mata. And on this Ratha, we can see in a beautiful picture. And then, all the Rajas and Rajkumar, they were simply standing because they were busy looking into. Guru Maharaj was saying in this lecture that Rukmini was so beautiful that, everyone was busy looking at her beauty, the way she walks and what she wore, and how she smiles, and how her eyes are beautiful. So everyone was busy looking at her, and everyone was thinking that, okay, she is mine, she is mine. And in that same, and at the same time, Krishna just walked in, and nobody notices Krishna. And this is Krishna's Maya. Krishna is the most beautiful, amongst everybody. But this was Krishna's Maya, and it was Rukmini's love that nobody could see Krishna at that moment. and then Krishna just took away, kidnapped Rukmini, as per plan, and then they took to he just took away Rukmini Mata to Dwarka, and then in between, the war happens, and then Balram helped, and Balram came with all the Sena from Dwarka and helped Krishna. And then, Rukmini and Krishna Vivaha happened. And then finally, just by hearing, Rukmini Mata, Rukmini Mata could, go to Krishna all the time, every time. And then she became an eternal consort of Krishna, and then Krishna Vivaha or Rukmini Krishna Vivaha happened. And this is a very beautiful Leela, which is in the 10th canto of 52 and 53 chapter of 10th canto. A very beautiful explanation of Rukmini Haran. And this is one of my favorite pastime. I always read a lot about it because I heard that even though I'm married, I would also like to attain Krishna and Krishna as my husband, and because he is सबके पति है, he is भोक्तारम यज्ञ सर्वाम भोक्तारम यज्ञ तपसाम सर्वलोक महेश्वरम सुहृदम सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा माम शांति रुचते. So he is my suhruda, he is my best friend, and everyone says that your husband should be your best friend. So I would like to seek, Krishna as my husband. So I read almost every week this katha and this so many shlokas, the Rukmini Varanam, Rukmini Katha, Rukmini later to Krishna, how she wrote beautifully. And she was also very, very young. And this is the power of hearing. Just by hearing at the small age, she became a consort of Dwarakadish and became a Rani from in a Dwarka. Right? So this is all about Rukmini's pastime. And then we know that, so there are many stories. I have just, I thought of giving you some stories. I don't know many shlokas, and I'm not so, a great devotee, but trying to, tell you few things which I have realized and the way I study about this Shravanam, the Navavida Bhakti, which Prahlad Maharaj says, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dastam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. And I always recheck where I am. Am I doing Shravanam Bhakti nicely? Shravanam, Kirtanam. Am I doing Kirtanam? But I think Kirtanam I cannot do much because I'm always surrounded by so many people. Either when I'm staying at home or when I'm in office, you're always surrounded by people or you're surrounded by this phone. So you cannot do Kirtanam a lot, but definitely we can do a Shravanam. So whenever I get time, I try to do lots of Shravanam. And this was a habit, which was cultivated in us by our Shiksha Gurus. And I think whatever I am today, whatever I am speaking today, whatever I am serving today, I I learned from, I would really say, I'm not exaggerating, but whatever services I could do today, it's all because I'm learning, I have learned it across period of time from His Grace Nimaikana Prabhu. When I started, doing this preaching activity, I was told to, serve with uh, His Grace Nimaikana Prabhu. And Nimaikana Prabhu told me, he didn't tell me anything rather. He just what he did, he did actions. He used to serve. And then I used to look at him. Oh, this is the way we should serve devotees. Okay, this is how we should behave with devotees. This is how we should look at devotees. This is how we should smile when devotees come. This is how we should talk to devotees. So I learned everything from him. Everything. Whatever I am today, I think I learned from him. And whatever my good habits, just many of you who have joined, they know me very well. They know I'm very a bad person, and I have lot many bad habits as well. But whatever good habits I have, I learned from my Shiksha Guru. Whatever the consistency, which I think I learned from my Shiksha Guru, and the Seva attitude, service attitude, I learned from my Shiksha Guru as well as from my most dear brother, God brother, H.G. Maikana Prabhu. So thank you so much again, to glorify you. And so here, in this, the next katha is, we all know this picture, Parikshit Maharaj. And Shukadev Goswami is talking about Srimad Bhagavatam. And recently, I also have started very seriously reading Bhagavatam, and I'm just hearing, just yesterday I was hearing a pastime of Yudhishthir Maharaj when they go to When they hear from Arjuna that now Krishna has departed from this world, what to do? So, and then, there is very nice explanation in a purport of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada says that as soon as Yudhishthir Maharaj, until the time Yudhishthir Maharaj was ruling this world, he was always seeking help from and the support from his brothers, his wife Draupadi, and everybody. But as soon as he heard that now Krishna has departed from this world, he immediately, without telling anybody and everybody, he just left the kingdom with a simple cloth. And that gives us explanation that even though we are surrounded by so many devotees, there is a privilege that we are surrounded by a good devotees, exalted devotees, n number of devotees everywhere at home, then in office as well. I also get association. I'm so fortunate that I have association of devotees in my office as well. So, and then in office as well as at home, in temple, the programs like the satsanga program, which we are actually organized, we should always remember one thing. When it times to, go back to Godhead, right? We should immediately, leave everything, and we should only take advantage of association of this exalted devotees and immediately walk away towards this path of attaining Krishna or attaining the Godhead or going back to the Krishna. So this is maybe I'm not able to explain it properly, but Yudhishthir Maharaj was saying, and this is something Bhagavatam tells us that how to live a life and then how to live a life. So just in the first canto, we don't have to read all the 10. I'm not saying that, but we should definitely read all the 10 cantos. But when we start reading just the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam with all the purports of Srila Prabhupada, we understand that, the first canto itself is fulfilling. And then I was like seeking to read more and more and more that same chapter. And then I heard, and that purport Prabhupada says that, this is how devotees behave when they hear that Krishna is no more in this world and now the Maya might attack, they immediately, look at here and there, and they immediately go to the northern side of the country, and then they try to seek for salvation. So Bhagavatam, everyone says that if you have any questions, all the answers are there in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. But I would also say, because I've started reading very seriously Srimad Bhagavatam, that all the answers we are seeking for in this world, all these answers are there in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, and all the purpose written by Srila Prabhupada is there. And how do we start reading Bhagavatam? We have to first hear. So hearing, like, Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami, we know that in this sabha, where, Parikshit Maharaj is glorifying Sri Krishna in Bhagavatam, he heard it from his father. And Narad Muni, Narad Muni, his father's guru, right? He's also sitting. And he's not sitting on Vyasasana on a big chair. He's sitting on a ground. So many exalted, gurus, Shaunakadi rishis, and so many rishis, they are sitting and they are hearing, right? And we can see in this picture, just by looking at this picture, we can understand the power of hearing. The way they are sitting continuously for 7 days, 7 nights, without seeking for any food, no sleep, right? The sleepless nights and foodless days and everything, what he has achieved Krishna ultimately. So this is the second inspiring picture, I would say. If we just look at this picture, we understand the power of hearing. Nothing else we have to see. So I thought of adding this picture into this, and this is most important. And reading first canto very systematically with Prabhupada's purpose, give us tremendous power of reading the Bhagavatam and hearing the Bhagavatam. Now, there is one question maybe that how do we, everyone says that, remember Krishna and never forget Krishna, right? Smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismarto na jatu chit. And then Krishna also says, Machita madhyat prana bodhayanta paraspara. He says, Machita, meditate on me. Manmana bhava madbhakto. And he says, uh, you know, he says so many things about, smart. And in Smaran, in Vishnu Sahasranam also it says that Yasya Smarana Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat Vimuchate right? Muchyate is a simple word, but vimuchyate means vishesh muchyate, vishesh mukti you get when you just remember Krishna. When you just remember, yasya smarana matrena janma samsara bandhanat, right? So, like there is an example, like for example, like yesterday is over and today has started for us in India, and sunrise, right? Sunrise and sunsets. Now in between what happens is sunrise and sunsets, and then tomorrow also sunrise and sunset. So every day when sun rises and sunsets, we are going close to the mrityu, which is eternal truth. Every day we are going close to mrityu. But for devotees this is not the case. For devotees, we should every day celebrate. Every day we should celebrate. As soon as sun rises, we should celebrate. Oh, we are one day close to Krishna now. Oh, tomorrow. Oh, sunsets. Oh, good. Now we are even more closer to Krishna. So we are closer to Krishna every day, each day. Each day we are closer to Krishna. So this sun, yeah, when it rises in the sky, it remembers that, oh, you're going close to Krishna. But for others, those who do not hear Krishna Katha, do not read about Krishna, do not talk about Krishna, for them, it is like Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jathare Shayanam. इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे, इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे, कृपया तारे पाहि मुरारे. So that's what happens, right? So this world is dukhalaya shashvatam. So this is bhautik world is very very, it's full of miseries. Every day, we hear a lot when we are in association of devotees, we understand that everyone is suffering, no one is happy, everyone is suffering because of something or the other. So when we understand this, but to understand this we have to take association of devotees, not the one who is not associated with Krishna or with associated with the Vaishnavas. So when we take association of devotees, we understand everyone is suffering. But when they come to each other, like in my uh, I, I also stay in Pune along with Bangalore. So I some days I stay in Bangalore and some days I stay in Pune. 4 days in Bangalore and 3 days in Pune. So when I go back to Pune, I have a very nice association in Pune, a very nice group of devotees. They stay in Pune, and I'm so blessed that I seek to travel to see them. When I look at them, when I see them, I'm so happy. Okay, she's there. He's there for me. He's there for me. So even if I have to travel a lot, I take that pen because I can hear them. I can see them. I can see them walking. I can see them, doing chanting. I can see them. Zoom is okay, but when I seek them, when I see them, I'm very very happy, very glad. So what I heard from the Association of Devotees is, when you hear about Krishna, when you read about Krishna in association of devotees, you understand better. I read a lot. I'm a bookworm. I like to read a lot. But when I started reading in association of devotees, started hearing when devotees read from the scriptures, from Bhagavad Gita. We are now reading Bhagavad Gita, and we are also reading Jagannath Katha every evening. So when I read from them, when they read for me or when I read for them, I understand that now this is a different frequency. I'm tuned to a different frequency, and for that particular moment, 1 hour, I forget everything and I just remember Krishna. Everything, I really forget everything. Even last Monday, when there was a Jagannath Snan Yatra, I took a leave. But then to apply a leave, we have a wellness leave, a special leave we have in our company, which you have to apply on that same day around 9 a.m. in the morning. And I just thought of applying, but when I went in association of duties, I completely forget. Okay, मुझे leave apply करना है. I forgot, and the next day I have to apply a casual leave. So I missed it. But I am not regretting because I got an association of devotee which is more valuable than everything in this world. So hearing Krishna Katha in association of devotees, reading about Krishna, remembering Krishna is the most wonderful thing in this world. Now going to the how I can forget, Prahlad Maharaj. We know that when Prahlad Maharaj was in a, please forgive me for this, the sentence which is on the image. I was in a hurry to create this PPT slides for all of us, for me basically, so that I will not forget Krishna. And he's always in front of my screen, and then I will talk about him. So we know that when Prahlad Maharaj, he was in his Gurukul, and then during the lunchtime, he used to talk about Krishna Katha, and then everyone, how attentively they were hearing, their body posture tells that, they are so much interested in hearing Krishna Katha. And he was saying, and then everyone was saying, see, we did not hear anything, how did you hear this? Our teachers are not teaching us this knowledge. From where you hear this katha? How do you know about this philosophy about Lord? And then he told a pastime that when I was in the womb of my mother, Narad Muni, exalted devotee, Srila Narad Muni, he told about Krishna philosophy. And then we know that Mata Kayadu, Prahlad Maharaj mother, she was in an ashram. And when she was kidnapped by Indra, Narad Muni came and said, no, no, please don't hurt her, because in her womb there is a great devotee called as Prahlad Maharaj. And then, he just took her to the ashram. And then while she was engaged in many devotional activities like making a garland, Narad Muni, what he did, he told Krishna Katha, the philosophy of Bhakti, and the Bhakti Yoga, and the Dhyan Yoga, and the Dhyan Yoga, and basically the Krishna Katha, and hearing that Krishna Katha, Prahlad, we know, a small child Prahlad, he was in the lap of Narsingh Bhagwan, and the way Narsingh Bhagwan is, putting his hand on his head, I would, think that I know that Narsingh Bhagwan won't come for me, but devotees like you, when they come and, uh, when they give me their blessings, I feel like it's like a nursing Bhagwan giving blessings to me. So in association of devotees, I exactly feel like what Prahlad Maharaj is feeling along with nursing Bhagwan. So association of devotees and hearing katha in association of devotees is most important. And this is what exactly I also feel when I take association of devotees. And I'm so fortunate that today early morning, every day I am in association. Like now, I can see Guru Maharaj. The Japa talk is going, Japa session is going on. So Guru Maharaj is here. I can see Guru Maharaj. I can also see, the Puri temple, which is like my heart always resides at Jagannath Puri. So I can see Guru Maharaj is there, and Puri temple, and Jagannath ji is there. And along with that, I'm also having association of devotees. So I would say that today is the best day, that early morning I'm getting all the association all over the world. And this is the technology. I work in wireless field. And I was always thinking that is whatever I'm working is, when I joined ISKCON, I thought I am working on disruptive technologies. Why I'm working on this technologies? This is taking the world to the, it taking world to the valley. It is not good. But when we use the same technology for connecting people all over the world, all over the globe, with high speed internet and high speed, wireless networks, I understand, okay, whatever I'm doing, I'm on the right path. I'm on the right path. And Krishna, I always seek a Krishna that, I'm currently working on 6G. So I think we will have more bandwidth, and we can download, and we can have more videos, and more things, So I would think that yes, I'm on the right path. So I'm on the right path when I'm working in this material world, because I'm working for the devotees, the upcoming devotees, or the next generation devotees, the granddaughters, Srila Prabhupada. So I would say, the same thing, that in the association of devotees all over the world, we seek like having Prahlad Maharaj standing next to Narsingh Bhagwan, and Narsingh Bhagwan is giving us the glorification. So this is the power of hearing that Prahlad Maharaj became a devotee of Lord, and Lord came just for him. As he said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So, one more time, Krishna and Lord Narsimha, Lord Vishnu, became Bhaktavatsal, and he came for Prahlad Maharaj. He did not come for Hiranyakashipu. Of course, he came for Hiranyakashipu because he is also his devotee. But he came for Prahlad Maharaj, and in Varaha Rupa, he came for Hiranyaksha, and for Hiranyakashipu, he came in Narsingh Bhagwan, he came for Prahlad Maharaj, he came for Kayadu, he came for everybody. He came for Kayadu in a hearing form. So he allowed Kayadu to hear about his pastime. right? So he came in hearing. He came for Draupadi in terms in form of sari. So he comes in different forms. So as you know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, if we just hear the Nama, Guna, Leela of Krishna, in the Chaitanya Shikshashtakam, he says that that is enough. That is enough. So in that 8 verses, everything is written. In this first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, everything is there. In the 700 verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, everything is there. All questions are answered. We just have to be attentively, seeking uh, the meaning of it, from various acharyas. Okay, and then how I can forget my dear Lord Jagannath. So this is another story I would like to tell you when it comes to power of hearing. We know that Raja Indradyumna, he was a great devotee of Vishnu, and then he always wanted to see Vishnu in a real form. And then he had a desire, he had a desire to see Krishna in a real form. And then as soon as he had a desire, a very great devotee, or I would say a great Brahmana came, and then he was telling about the Purushottam Kshetra. And just by hearing the glories of Purushottam Kshetra, Indradyumna Maharaj immediately ordered his most associated and the faithful person, Vidyapati, that can you please go and find out, where is this Kshetra, where is this Kshetra, and how the Lord looks, and how can we go there and settle over there. And just when Vidyapati came back, and then you can see in this picture that when Vidyapati returned, the and he presented the garland which was offered to Lord Jagannath, Lord Neelamadhava, by various Devi Devtas, Indra and Varuna and many other demigods and many Devtas. So as soon as he presented this garland to Indradumna Maharaj, he was so pleased and he was embracing, and then he worshipped Vidyapati that, oh, you saw Vishnu, you saw the Neel Madhav form of Krishna. And then he said, can you please explain me, elaborate me the form of Neel Madhav? And then in this Kanda Purana we were reading yesterday, that he explained how he looks. It's a big thing. It's a 2 pages explanation of how Neela Madhava is like this. He is in a Tribhanga Roop, and his eyes are beautiful. He is blue complexion, and all his the what I would say, all the body parts are so transcendental. They are so beautiful. So he was explaining about it in that Skanda Puran. And then same explanation he also told Indradyumna Maharaj. And by hearing about Lord form in this Tribhanga along with Lakshmi Mata, so he said, and then he also explained how Lakshmi Mata is there and how Garudji is there. Garudji is present. Sudarshan Chakra is present. How the Sheshnag is on his head. So he explained everything in that Quran, and then just by hearing the form, the way Krishna resides in his Garbhagruha, Indradumna Maharaj, you can see the big smile on his face. So this is the power of hearing, and immediately at that moment he ordered in his kingdom that let us, go to Utkal Kshetra, and he ordered everybody, and then everybody, like Koshadhyaksha, they took all the wealth. Then immediately, all the Vaishyas who were doing Vapar, immediately they just took everything, whatever is required to do Vapar in the Utkal Kshetra, they immediately took. All the Gruhasthas, they just, they did. There was not movers and packers that time, so they just packed themselves, and they just did their bullock cart and rathas and ghoda and elephants and camels and everything. They just took immediately, they vacated the Avantipur and they traveled to Utkal Kshetra. So just by hearing about Purushottam Kshetra Mahima, just by hearing about Lord Neela Madhav, Indradyumna Maharaj went, and he then had a darshan of Lord Jagannath, and we know the entire story. So, and Narad Muni came, and Indradyumna Maharaj, Gundicha Mata, they came, and then Brahmaji came, and then he had a dream that, even though I am not present right now at this Purushottam Kshetra, Nilachal Pradesh, I will surely come in a Daru Brahma form. And then, we can see in this picture that in this ocean, there is a big, the wood is there, and then that wood is nothing but a transcendental wood form of Neelamadhav. And then Vishwakarma came, and he has created this beautiful form of Lord Jagannath, and then Indradimna Maharaj saw Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Sudarshan, these four Vigrahas, and then he did lots of yajnas and you know yajnas he did, and then we had a Snan Purnima, and that was the birthday of Lord Jagannath, dear Jagannath, and then we have recently celebrated Snan Yatra, Snan Purnima of Lord Jagannath, and this was all these things happened just due to hearing. Just he heard everything from that Brahmana who came, who was like a yatri, traveling from one dham to the second dham, and he had a desire to hear about Krishna. He had a desire to see Krishna, and had a just having a desire, he could attain Jagannath, and Jagannath is still there. Jagannath is there in Purushottam Kshetra. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Sudarshan Bhagwan ki jai. They resides in this Purushottam Kshetra, and they are there and waiting for us. Lord Panduranga Rukmini, they are also waiting for us in this Pandharpur Dham. They are always like पुंडरीका पुंडरीकाचे भेटी परब्रह्म आलेगा ऐसे बोलते हैं in Marathi it says कि for this devotee Lord traveled from Dwarka to Pandharpur, and he's there waiting, he's in this form waiting for all of us, right? And we are so fortunate that we are going to go to Pandharpur in next 2 weeks, and along with we might not get a darshan of Lord Panduranga, but we will definitely get darshan of Srila Guru Maharaj, and then we can also see many devotees, and Lord is waiting, and in Purushottam Kshetra also, Lord is waiting for us. And recently we have celebrated birthday of Jagannath, and very nice Nan Purnima. We all have celebrated. So it was all happened due to the power of hearing. So hearing is so important. And then and upcoming is Rathayatra Mahamahotsav, right? So we can see that, and Jagannath himself, told everything to Indradimna Maharaj. I was just reading in a scripture, the Skanda Puran, that Indradimna Maharaj asked, "How do I celebrate, your birthday? Please tell me." And then Jagannath told, "You just celebrate me with waters." At one of the Japa talk, I heard from Ananta Shesh Prabhu. I hope I'm taking his correct name. So Prabhuji said that, Jagannath said, just take me. I just would like to take bath, and you celebrate my birthday, Snan Purnima, and then just with water. And that water is not cleansing him, that water is cleansing us, right? That water is getting purified for us, right? So that's what, Daru Brahma, Jagannath, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Sudarshan, they appeared, and we have recently celebrated. And then one more question Indradimna Maharaj asked to Lord Jagannath, how do and Jagannath, we know that Jagannath is Bhagwan is Utsav Priya. He likes Utsav. And then he said, how do I celebrate more and more and more? How do I remember you? How do I understand you? How do I hear about you? How do I take association of devotees? Can you please tell me? And then Jagannath ji told, okay, you celebrate the next Utsav, which is Rathayatra, and then there is Dola Yatra. There maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but so many festivals, Jagannath ji said, you make me Sona Besha, and you make me Manjunath Besha, and you make me Gajo Besha, and every day is festival. And like us, Srila Prabhupada, we know that last Saturday I was talking about the ISKCON festivals, the festivals in ISKCON, and every month, we have minimum 2 festivals, minimum, and maximum we have 6 festivals in one of the month. So what Srila Prabhupada made a beautiful arrangement for all of us. What he did, every month we have festivals, and sometimes I complain, back to back hota hai. Every Saturday we have something, every Sunday we have something, morning we have something, evening we have something, and if nothing is there, then I think, oh, I did not do Chapan Bhoga for Jagannath, so let me celebrate at home. Oh, I did not do Pushpa Abhishek, oh, let me do. I did not do, fruit festival for Jagannath, let me do. Oh, I did not make him in Bana Besha. I want to make him Banamali. So, okay, let me do this. So, if nothing is there, we have festival at home. And if nothing is there, we have always, some sannyasi is coming and some Guru Maharaj is coming. And then they are giving us lecture. And then 13 July, we are having another week of, the Nam Japa when ISKCON was established. So, every day is a celebration. Every day is celebration because Krishna wants us to remember. And Krishna's devotee, Srila Prabhupada, wants us to remember Krishna. And he has made a beautiful arrangement for all of us all over the world, wherever you go. Even you go to Las Vegas, you have association of devotees, and even if you come to ISKCON, Mayapur, you have association of devotees. So at the best place you have, and in the worst place when it comes to the material existence, Las Vegas, you have association of devotees, and I am connected to so many devotees all over the world, and I have visited so many ISKCONs in Japan, in Netherlands, in US, and everywhere. And then we have devotee association, we have brahmacharis, we have feast. You get dal, roti, sabzi, and chole bhature in Las Vegas. And that is the power of Srila Prabhupada. He has established everything for us, the utsavs, the association, and hearing. How I will not include this story. I know, I hope I'm not going over time, but I would also like to, this story is very, very important, very, very dear to all of us, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, when we know this, the story of Maharaj Pratap Rudra, when he wanted to take a darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was not ready, and he says, Vishayi hai. I don't want to take his darshan, because he's always associated with mantris, wealth, and women. I'm not interested. But as soon as we hear this words from Gopi Geet, we can say, Tava Kathamrutam Tapta Jivanam Kavidirinditam Kalmashapaham Shravana Mangalam Srimadatitam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana. As soon as he heard it, Tava Kathamrutam Tapta Jivanam. Oh, we are like, we are so much uh, we are क्या बोलते हैं we are when we have a fever, we have this संताप, we say मला ताप आलाय, संताप आलाय, संताप, राग आलाय, चिडचिड झालेली आहे, right? In Marathi we say. So संताप आलेला आहे, ताप आलेला आहे, गरम झाली आहे, I am like very hot. So what happens when we are hot? Materially, generally we are not, but materially when we are hot, what we should do? Kathamrutam, Tava Kathamrutam. When we hear about you, O Krishna, what happens? Sare kalmash, all the miseries go away immediately. Now, in last 1 hour, if I remember, if I meditate on this 1 hour whole day today, I'll be so happy and very, very blissful. Because there are two reasons I'll be blissful today. One is I'm going to get association of my very dear devotee. She's coming to office, and I'm getting association of her whole day today. And then I'm also having prasadam with her. And then at the same time, I'm in association with you. And then talking about Krishna Katha, hearing about Krishna Katha. So that makes me, I will no more have santap today. So this is what is Krishna Katha. And then we know that when gopis, Radharani, when she was in the middle of this Ras Purnima and Krishna left, what they did? When Krishna left, what they did? They did Krishna Katha. So Krishna never left them actually. Krishna never leave anybody. He's always residing in our heart. When one of the, Vyas Puja Mahotsav, when one of the time when Guru Maharaj was traveling alone in a train, and then a devotee called, my counselor called, and he said, Guru Maharaj, are you accompanying anybody? And then he said, yes, Paramatma is with me. And then he thought it's Paramatma Prabhu. And then he made preparation for two devotees, and then he said, where is Paramatma Prabhu? And he said, no, Paramatma Prabhu did not come along with me. And then he said, but you said that you have Paramatma with you. And then he said, yeah, Paramatma, because Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Ruddeshu Arjuna Tishtati. So Paramatma always is in our heart. We are never alone. My Shiksha Guru always says that you are not alone. You are not alone in Bangalore. You are Paramatma is always with you. You are not alone. You are not alone in hospital. Your Paramatma is with you. You are not alone in hospital when you are in, you have your loved ones going to the operation theaters. You are not alone outside operation theater. Paramatma is always with you. He always says that. And that's what Guru Maharaj also says from his phone conversation, that I'm with Paramatma. And that's what Radharani also tells us in Srimad Bhagavatam. So all questions, answers are there in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Prabhupada's purports, that Tava Katha. When Krishna leave them in the middle of Ras Purnima, what they did? they just remember Krishna by hearing about Krishna, by talking about Krishna. So that's what we should also do. When we should always talk about Krishna, we should remember Krishna. And how do we remember Krishna and how do we talk about Krishna? When we hear about Krishna, we can talk about Krishna and we will remember Krishna. So, and then I would also say this thing. So what is the what do we get when we hear about Krishna? Shravana Mangalam. Everything happens Mangal. Now in this Geet Govinda, what Jaidev Swami is saying? He's saying, Mangalam Anjulam Geetam Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. What he's saying? Just, by so Jaidev Swami is saying, Jaidev Pad is saying, what he's saying, this this Geet Govinda is Mangal, it's Manjul. And then that's why, oh Lord, it's glory to you. Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. And then we say, Radhe Krishna Hare Govinda Gopala Nanda Chukulala Yashoda Dulala. Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. When we talk about Krishna, when we hear about Krishna, when we read about Krishna, what happens? Everything happens auspicious. Mangal, Manjul. It is a Mangal Geet. Manjul. What about what is all about Geeta Govinda? It talks about mm, the Kaliya Mardan Leela. It talks about, Ram and Sita Leela. And it talks about Krishna's Amala Kamala Dalalochana He. Right? It talks about that. So what is it? It's a Mangal Geet, Manjula Geet. So the Krishna Katha, what is Krishna Katha? It is nothing but Shravana Mangalam, right? And when we hear about Krishna Katha, everything auspicious happens. The only thing we should do is all the time, every time, we should remember Krishna. And how to remember Krishna is hearing about Krishna, reading about Krishna, taking association of devotees. So that is what is all about. And then we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was in, I think this is the last slide. I know I'm a little bit 1 minute over time, but this is the last thing. I hope so. Yeah. This is the last thing. So we know that in Jagannath Puri, Tota Gopinath's temple, when Gadadhar Pandit was there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his last 18 years, right, when he was in Jagannath Puri, he used to hear himself Srimad Bhagavatam for continuous 3 hours. From whom? Gadadhar Pandit. Who is Gadadhar Pandit? Radharan. And who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Radha Krishna itself, right? So Krishna and Radha is hearing from Radharan, right? Because he wanted to experience what devotees feel when they hear about Krishna. How devotees remember me, how devotees remember me. So this is so during he taught us in actions, right? Action speaks louder than words. And he did exactly for us, right? In this Tota Gopinath's temple, every day for 18 years, he heard Srimad Bhagavatam for continuous 3 years, every day without fail from Gadadhar. So this is the example, all our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jayadev Swami, and Srimati Radharani, who is like giving us bhakti. They have set these standards for us. And I think, but all to reach to that standard, we might be away from it. I am like too far from all these standards. But I know just by hearing Krishna Katha, I can attain this. By reading Prabhupada's purport, hearing from the devotees, I can definitely achieve one day. So please, I would like to, seek blessing from all of you that please pray for me so that, I can go ahead in bhakti. And one day I will also attain Krishna and Jagannath ji, same as Rukmini Mata, same as Srimati Radharani, same as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, same as Jayadev Goswami, same as Raj Pratap Rudra and everybody. And these are the pictures I have taken from my temple, the most dear temple to me, NVCC Pune. So this is NVCC Pune temple. I stay there and I also stay in this temple. Lord has Prabhupada gave me a servant quarter, just next to the temple, and he says, "You be there and serve my devotees, and serve in this temple." So these are the instructions I think I am getting indirectly from Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, and I'm staying there in a servant quarter next to the temple. So this is the temple, and then we have uh, Radha Vrindavan Chandra there, and then we have Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and we have Balaji Bhagwan there, and Gaur Nitai is there, and very beautiful temple in Pune. So with this, I would like to stop and end my if I said something wrong, please forgive me and accept my humble obeisances again at your lotus feet. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय वैष्णव ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद जय गुरु महाराज जय all devotees all glories to the devotees assembled here. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for a very wonderful class. We got to learn a lot, Mataji, and you gave so many examples and practical um, through Mother Rukmini's example, Rukmini Devi, King Indradumna, and Sukhdev Goswami. So there were so many examples. Thank you, Mataji. And like you mentioned, Shravanam is, something we can do from, anywhere, whether it be in the car, driving to work, cooking, getting ready, or, there's so many ways we can incorporate it in our day. So, and thank you for sharing your experiences. It was very inspiring to hear how, you said, like you mentioned, or it was written that you joined just 6 years back, but the way you explained and everything was so inspiring. So thank you so much, Mataji. Before we proceed to questions, I'll just do a quick announcement, if that's okay. Okay, Mataji. I'll just share my
Yes,
screen.
Mataji. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. This is our ISKCON of Bergen website. We're currently, it's our Wednesday Sangha, as we have Mataji today. Every week we have this updated for the speaker of the week. So if anyone is interested to check it out, please, you can. This Sunday we have His Grace Sameshwar Prabhu, who is also one of our godbrothers, disciple of His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj. He'll be giving class on our NOI series, which is being continued. Every Friday we have our weekly Bhakti workshop program in a couple locations. So if anyone is interested or knows anyone who is interested, please do utilize our website to get in contact and access. Every single day we have Bhagavad Gita reading 12 to 12:15 every weekday, Monday through Friday. So please join if you can. And every day we have morning japa. We also have our ISKCON calendar here on our website for Ekadashi days, fast patrons, festival days, and everything is accessible here. And lastly, um, our YouTube, where we upload all of our Sunday lectures and Wednesday Sangha classes. So as you can see here, everything is here. So if you'd like to revisit a class or something, everything is accessible. So hope to see you all this Sunday for the Sunday program. Despite it being long weekend, hopefully we'll see more of you there. And without further ado, if anyone has any questions, requesting if you can either raise your hand or unmute or send it in the chat. Questions, comments, realizations, anything.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Uh, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Wonderful, wonderful class, Mataji. Very nice. You summarized very nicely. I like the point which you said how to live a life and how to live a life. And the best example is Parikshit Maharaj, and many other examples are there. Can you give us more examples, Mataji? Some few examples.
Uh, so there are so many examples, on Shravan Bhakti. Mataji, I'm really sorry. As this moment, I'm not getting anything what to say. But I would just say that I think when we look at our surroundings, we when we go to any I don't know, maybe from scriptures, but what I would say is when I'm a simple person, so I would like to seek simple things, in my life. So whenever I go to any ISKCON center, what do I say is how this devotee is hearing me. So how he's sitting, and how he's hearing. Is he making notes? So just by looking at those people, they are example for me. Sometimes I also hear from small kids, we have so many small kids in our groups, they also they're also my guru, and they also tell me how to hear about Krishna, and then how do they learn it? Like by making notes, by reciting stotra and other things. So I think for me, if you look your surroundings, there are n number of examples. We just have to open our eyes and look, and then in Shastra, like as I said, I'm very neophyte in ISKCON, so I have to still read a lot about Shastras and gather more and more examples. But I seek examples from my surroundings. Even in the material life, I have my team working under me, and they also I ask them to hear some lectures, the material lectures, and the way they hear lectures and come up with the points, that is also an example for me. So it's not about only the devotees, but it is like potential devotees also, I taken as an example from them. So I'm sorry, Mataji, I could only answer this way.
Oh, no, that's perfect, Mataji. That's very nice. Like, we should see, as Guru Maharaj was saying, Paramatma is within, is with me. So, same way, we can see many people around us. We can learn from them, even from young kids also. They are exemplary for in the devotional service. Many ways, many ways. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else has any questions, comments? Meanwhile, I'll ask a quick question, Mataji. Just curious on your thoughts into this point. If you have any like practical tips when it comes to hearing, and something I personally find myself struggling with is remembering after I hear. So I'll hear a class, or even if I like take notes in a class, 1 week later I forgot everything, and until like I remember, if I hear a class like 2 times, maybe a point will stick, but sometimes it's a struggle to like remember a point or remember the content in the class. So if you have any like practical tips on hearing, or how you'd
So I think,
recommend.
yeah, yeah. So thank you, Mataji, for this wonderful question. I also had a very similar, thing that I used to hear the same lecture. When I started hearing lecture 5 years back, I did not start in my first year. I started hearing lectures attentively after before 5 years, and I have to hear. That time I was hearing lecture minimum 3 times to remember everything. But then I found a way. What I started doing is whenever I heard a lecture, I used to immediately that next or during the lecture I was hearing, I used to pause the lecture and I went to the Google. I used to go to Google. Even today I do that. Now I go to ChatGPT. I go to Google. I used to go to Google and then I type that text in the Google, and then I'll go to the images section, and then that Google will give me images. And then I used to download those images, and I think picture speaks a lot than a text. So that's how I started remembering Krishna's pastime more and more. And as I was explaining about it, Parikshit Raj Maharaj picture, right? So just looking at that picture speaks a lot. That picture tells us that Narad Muni is sitting there. So many sages are sitting there. How they are sitting? They are sitting like this. When you sit like this, that means you are interested in hearing, right? When you sit like this, sit back, relax. It is not. But when you sit like this, so the body language tells you about this. Like the picture talks a lot. So this is how I always remember any Krishna Katha. That's why I also thought that let me, use my practical way of remembering Krishna to you as well. And so I have just added lot many slides in my presentation today because that's how I remember Krishna. Whenever I have, whenever I'm looking into my phone, what I do is I go to the picture gallery and I just scroll through those images and then I remember Krishna all the time. I hope that answers your question, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, thank you so much for sharing. That was very, very powerful, actually. Thank you. Does anyone else have any question, comment, realization? The last call. Okay, if there are no questions, just wanted to thank you again, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining us today and really hoping to see you in the future and hear you again on our Wednesday Sangha platform and hopefully see you in person maybe. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you all for also joining and logging on. Friendly reminder, we hope to see you all this Sunday for our Sunday program. And yes, hope everyone has a nice Christian conscious night. Thank you so much, Mataji. We can all unmute and give a loud Haribol for Mataji.
Thank you
Hare
so much,
Hari
everyone.
Bol.
Hare
Hari Bol.
Hare Bol.
Hari Bol.
Rama 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 Hare. Thank you so much, Mataji, again.
Thank you so much once again. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to Srila Prabhupada. Thanks to Guru Maharaj. Thanks to all devotees assembled here. Thanks to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna.